Hey there, you. Are you afraid of something? Are you saying, like, oh my God, I'm afraid. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Things are really scary. Ooh. Now, look, if you've had that experience, oh, it's not comfortable. It sucks. We don't want it. It is not something that we want to have on our list of things that we would receive as gifts in this world from friends or people around us. We don't want to be afraid. So, this reading is going to help you overcome fear. Why? It just is because we're setting that intention. I intend for this reading to help me overcome fear. If we set an intention up here in our secret place, what's that? That's that secret space where no one else can go, your innermost self, your consciousness, spiritual space, your imagination chalkboard where you can write on here whatever you hope or prefer. I write on this reality that this reading is going to help me to move through fears. Let's take a card. Let's sing a song. Let's go through this self-care experience so we don't have to sit on a pedal of fear. That's what the red kind of represents here. It's saying, oops, whoops, I settled down on a little patch of fear. So it looks a little bit like anger down here, this red. It looks a little bit thick and muddy and black. Ooh, it looks like molasses. It looks like I'm stuck. It looks like everything is falling down. It looks like bad luck. None of that stuff is real. Think about what I'm saying. We are a spiritual being, a non-material light that lives inside of a human being. We're a spiritual being having a human experience. In the realm of the spirit, it's just vast light, stars, energy, chakras. This is just all representations or details to illustrate this non-material experience of being an intelligent presence or an intelligent awareness that has come into the world to live as a human called you. So if you want to care for that self, you're going to realize that sometimes the details that we use to describe the world around us, the details, the words, the divine masculine, the wording that we're using to write the stories, to tell ourselves stories, to talk with others and tell them stories, to read our reality, to communicate. When we use our words to tell these stories, sometimes the stories we tell are ones of fear, full scariness. I'm going to lose this. Oh no, what if that happens? Oh, I'm imagining terrible things from this person or that. If that starts to become the storyline, then it's going to unfold like this lotus purple petaled flower of light. It's going to unfold and land you on a little spot of sticky, sticky fear, yucky, yucky. No, we don't want that. So what are we going to do? Well, the first step of all of this, of overcoming fear, is know that it's okay. Fear, what you doing here? Hey, fear, come over here. Are you here to visit me? Were you feeling left out, fear, because I didn't want to invest in you? We don't have to be sad about our fear. Come on over here and I'll give you a hug. Hey there, little fear, I didn't forget about you, no. While we're busy dreaming of all the goody good stuff we prefer in this world, fear kind of gets left out of the picture. So it gets a little bummed. And it wants to come over sometimes and be recognized and say, hey, don't forget about me. Fear sometimes can say, hey, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't understand what it's like to be free, to have faith, to be all right, to feel okay. So that's the first thing we want to do, is we want to embrace fear and be like, you have a right to be here, fear. You have a use. You're just another detail. You're just another flavor of an experience. But I am that I am. I am the consciousness, the awareness. I am the one that chooses the storylines, the things that I invest in. So know this, that fear is just a little petal of an option. Fear is just a little bit of a byproduct of a story that we tell ourselves about some person, place, or thing in our reality. There was this one time where I was walking down the street and a bus drove by with a sign on the side that said cancer treatment. Oh, I was like, what? As soon as I saw that detail, it imprinted in my consciousness space. And then I had the thought, a fearful thought of, what if I have cancer? And then I got afraid to die of cancer. The story went deeper. I fell into the muck. I have to find a way to renew or I'll be stuck in those stories of fear, those stories of bad luck. So, when we pause and breathe, we unhook from the strong emotions that hold us down in this world, that hold us into our storyline. Pausing and breathing, focusing our awareness on the breathing, taking it off of the problem around there, taking it off of the thinking or the story, focusing on our deep breathing will cause us to release the endorphins that's going to unhook us and get us into a flowing place where we know we have no face or no words. We are just that spiritual heart chakra being, that rainbow light, colorful, non-material existence in the world. Like living inside of a dream, we can just let go. And then we can redirect our words, right? Right. We can take that next right action to control, and not control, but to cast out, to send out little birds of blue. What are the birds of blue? That is our communication system, our throat chakra. She's all blue because she's a word incarnate. Words incarnate. You're a database of words that you can use to describe things in ways that are scary or light and bright and positive too. You've got the words. They're all inside of you. They're in your little caught catch, little dream net. You've collected them since you were a little kid. You've been learning all about the right thing to do with your words. So go in to that database, that wisdom place, that crown chakra lotus flower that you have, which is your memories, your words, your language, your ability to tell a story, to send out a birdie, to blue throat chakra speak. Do it with what you want to see coming to pass in the world so that you're creating this wonderful stuff. Oh, let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. What? We're going to allow fear to come in if it does and be like, hey, little fear, you can be here. But I'm going to redefine what I'm going to do with you, fear, with that power, with that energy, with that light. And then we're going to cast it out by sending out these birds of our new descriptions, our new stories. We're going to reinterpret our reality up here, and that's going to lead us into that next right space of wellness, of freedom, of what we want to see coming to pass before our very eyes. And it's going to lead us to overcome fear, because we are going to forget about the fear story. We're going to unhook from the fear story, and we're going to fall into a different story. Remember, we're just dealing with the perception of things. That's what this green heart chakra is here. It's our ability to go within to our secret garden. You can see she's behind the fence of green. She's through her door that no one else can go. That's that third eye space. That's that innermost self space. That is your spirit, your conscious awareness. And being awake as this spirit, you're able to then formulate with your wisdom. That's why she's got that purple robe, purple outfit on. She can go in there with her wisdom. She can choose what she wants to see embodied in the world. And they will go out like those little bluebirds. They will go out like that little bluebird telling the stories of what she would like to see come to pass. So good when we know that we have blossomed as this butterfly. We've transformed from a limited self to a spiritually awake person so that we can go within and we can deal with the perceptions of reality. We don't have to let them control us or cause us to get stuck in fear. Instead, we can take care for ourselves and then move into that right action, the right action of pausing, getting calm so that the stories dial down, the words come down. Then we can accept it all for what it is as information, as language, then we can tell a new story and use that power flow. So look, fear isn't really against us anymore. If fear comes upon you, you're going to need power to tell a story anyway. So we could be like, "Aw, come on over here again, fear. I didn't realize you were delivering a big burst of starlight energy. I accidentally defined my reality as a scary, scary thing." Or somebody seemed to cast something towards me that scared me, but what they were really doing was giving me more energy. Ooh, they were giving me an experience where a little bit of energy would burst in front of me. And I could simply say what the Bible says, which is, it looks like they meant evil against you, but God meant it for good. For good, because you can catch that energy that they share with you. If someone tells you a scary story, if the bus drives by with the cancer sign, you know that it's there to help people. Well, it wants to, at least, because it's words and images on the side of the bus. And that bus is transporting people in the world. And the world is a place of duality anyway. It's going to be up to us to choose that yellow stone, which is really us realizing that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, which is going to allow us to be able to get that green heart chakra awake, to be able to transform our perceptions and be the ones who judge the world that we prefer to see come to pass. The things that we want are going to be based on our language, our judgment. So, choose your stories wisely. You don't have to be afraid of fear. Instead, you can welcome it. You can use the power that it brings. You can redefine the story, and you can know that you can overcome the world. Now look, remember, we've heard this story before. Not to quote the Bible, but remember the little Garden of Eden story? So they ate from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Good and evil. Two powers fighting each other. Opposition. And when we have this idea that there are two powers, then we have this fear that there could be something against us. Now look, what was the story? They ate from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and then God is looking for Adam and says, "Yo, Adam, where are you?" "What?" And he says, I was afraid, so I hid because I was naked. Oh yeah, he decided it was a bad thing, an evil thing, and he was afraid. So they got cast out of that garden of one power in favor of two. And that's where we are. We're in the land of duality. It's such a neat place. There's a lot of variety here. There's a lot of opposition here. But it's up to you to choose to be that conscious Christ being, that spiritual being, that consciousness being, having a human experience, to get up into the tree of life land, into the ability to use the words to describe things so that we're not stuck telling ourselves scary stories and believing them, be living them. You can redefine the story, and you can know that you can overcome the world. Instead of defining things in a scary way, he can get out of himself, get into that consciousness space, use that energy to tell a new story. Strength. I have a deep inner strength and glorious vitality. That's only going to just lead to more and more expansion. Every time we overcome a situation, we get stronger. We get stronger, and we get more convinced that the world is not going to be against us. We're going to be able to let go of any of the stubborn resistance because we're not going to be concerned at all. Because nothing can go where we are, up in our secret place, up in our third eye space, up in that garden within that we are just looking out from. So, enjoy your day. Enjoy overcoming fear. I have another video if you want to watch it. It's called Overcoming the Fear of Flying or Public Speaking or some other things. Shows you how to transform what things look like out there to something new and positive and uplifting and exhilarating. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about. Let me know how things are going with you and what you like about this channel. Go ahead and hit the bell if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't either. I publish every day. I'll see you again soon. Take care.